Hello. Well, yesterday I went to an elementary school, and I haven't completely lost my mind, but watch this. First of all, listen to this. I just tooted a flute. I had little kids. I had one little kid, first grade boy, sitting in a chair. And when I got there, I realized that the description of my act, call it, was to show these kids Baroque music. Baroque music. How do you do that? Well, anyway, I'm going to share with you some of what I did. I showed them this, and I said, you know, that was my very first instrument. When I got it, it was called a song flute, and I realized, hey, cheap little thing, but you can play a tune. And the kid said, oh yeah, I've got one of them. Well, then I said, well, maybe you know this. What's this called? You know, it's a recorder, and a lot of schools in America use this. It's about the same. Yeah. And then I showed him this. I said, you know, when I got to college, I realized that that was a serious instrument, and I bought a wooden one. And the kids could relate to that. And I said, now what kind of a recorder is this? See, in German it's called a Blockflöte. But anyway, here it's called a recorder. And they said, well, some say, well, that's a wooden one. Well, I taught them soprano, alto, tenor, bass. I said, this is small. And so I said, you can get a bigger one, you know. And I said, I pulled this one out, and they said, whoa, look at that. And I said, now this is an alto one. Now listen to this. I said, now that would cost you maybe $30. That other one's really cheap. And then I pulled this one out. This is a tenor. Now this I said, this will cost you, well, I don't know, a plastic one will cost you maybe $80. But it sounds really, really nice. I like this one. Of course, I'm playing a tune that the kids knew. I'd say, do you guys know that tune? And they did. And then I pulled this baby out. Of course, they go, whoa, look at that. This is a bass. That was a tenor recorder. We had a soprano recorder, an alto recorder, a tenor recorder, and now this is a bass recorder. And I said, now these are expensive. This will cost you maybe $300. But, you know, listen to this. If I can play it, I'm not very good on this. Not too good on that one accidental there. Anyway, so you see, I was a tutor. I tooted a flute. And it reminded me of this. If you've never heard this is cute. A tutor who tooted a flute tried to tutor two tutors to toot. Said the two to the tutor, is it harder to toot or to tutor two tutors to toot? Forgot my question mark. Whoops, I forgot my... Alright, anyway, I'm sharing with you some of what happened yesterday. It was cool. I'll have more to say about that too. That's something. Since I retired, I haven't been back in the classroom, and I've almost never taught first graders. Almost scary. But I will share with you this right now, because I want to tell you, I was reminded why teaching for me was not just for the money. It's the light in the kids' eyes when they would understand something or get interested. You could almost feed off that. And I saw it again. I didn't know these kids. I didn't know their names. Well, I'll have more to say about that later on. But anyway, this is supposed to be all the average person ever needs to know about grammar. So here we go, just a little bit. This is going to relate, actually. All the average student of foreign language ever needs to know about verbs. I'm now changing to verbs. And all I'm going to tell you now, to keep this short, is that verbs, now a verb is a word that shows action or state of being. I'll get into that on Monday. We'll tackle verbs. But a verb should be named. Verbs should be named by their infinitive or infinitives. QV. If you're taking notes, I've been careless. You should put QV here. Which C, and you'll see this later on in this section. I'll tell you what an infinitive is. It's when you, in English, it's when you put the word to in front of it. So an example of an infinitive is the verb to toot. That's an infinitive, the infinitive to toot. Right there, I suppose maybe I should have put that in quotes, I'm not sure. The infinitive to, or the verb to toot. It seems to me I was going to tell you something else right here in this connection. But I can't think of it right now, so it probably isn't that important. I'll think of it by Monday. Alright, I only have one other video to show you today, and so I'm now going to turn to the chronological survey.